Hello and welcome to another Chat G&G. I'm Gags. He's Grizz. How you doing, brother?
I'm right, bit early. Like, thanks for waking me up so early. Like, I don't normally be up this early. What time is it, man? This is crazy time for us, man. 11 o'clock in the morning.
I know,
You know,
man.
it's this. It's not often. It's not often I talk football 11 o'clock in the morning. Well, to be honest with you, I thought I talk football 24 hours a day. But yeah, this is a very early one.
Mate, it's the best way. I've got a day off and I thought, well, we couldn't make it last night. Let's try and do something today, you know? Makes
And
sense.
just before we went live, like when you go live or when you're about to do something, you say, "All right, here we go," right? But you said "Chalo fir." Now, for the non-Punjabi listeners, whatever that means, let's go. I
Yeah.
haven't heard that phrase "Chalo fir" in years, and I must say, it just reminds me of how cute our language is, man. It's a beautiful language, man. Chalo fir. It's like so
How
cute.
chalo
Do you know what I mean?
fir?
Do you know what I mean by that? Like, I
Yeah,
hope the
it's
Punjabi
cute.
listeners and the Urdu listeners know what I mean by that's such a cute little thing to say. Chalo fir, let's go.
Yeah.
But I
Chalo
haven't heard
fir.
it in ages. And when you hear something like that after such a long time, just put a smile to my face. But to the non-Punjabi speakers, it just means chalo fir, let's go. Chalo
Exactly.
fir.
We've got people already. We've got Cop Zone saying, morning, lads, good morning. And Jatine saying, so early, lads, when must we work? Never. Nobody should work. It's football season, Jatine. We should Jatine has
Always have it on the background. Carry on with your work. Be so good at your work, be so good at your job that you can multitask, Jatin. Have
that's it.
stuff going in the background and carry on with your work. We're not asking you to stop your work and affect
No.
your livelihood.
You can listen. You can listen and work. You don't have to watch.
Exactly.
Plus, we're not the faces that people want to see, really.
Please speak for yourself. Even though I need a shave and I need what I call it a shit shower shave. I need
Oh
a shit shower
dear.
shave. Straight after this, I'm going for a shit shower shave.
Christoph is coming straight in with the questions. Do we wait till after Newcastle game? Need two up top and a number 6. We're going to address all of that in the show. We'll get there. Thank you for the question. We will. Big up Punjabi brothers, LFC. Punjabi rather than Punjabi, but that's fine. And good morning, Cathal, as well. Listening and working at the same time. Love it.
There you go.
Yep, always will wing it. Love it, man. And what have we got here? Eddie New, huh? Not sure what that's referring to. Let us know what you mean.
Oh, Eddie, about we'll discuss it. Yeah.
Eddie Howe, yeah.
Yeah.
Suj is here. Big up, brother. Grizz and Gags, much respect, gents. Much respect, Suj. Always supporting us, even when you're not here, Grizz. You're supporting me on other streams that I'm on as well. It's fantastic. What a man. What a man. And morning, gents. How do you think the transfer window? We're going to go through all of the transfer window stuff on the show as well. We won't answer these questions just yet, Jojo. So, yeah, please do stay tuned. And Ranj is giving us thumbs up. So the first thing we're going to go straight into is right back injuries, Grizz. It doesn't look good at the moment. Frimpong out until after the international break. So it must be a very slight tear or a low, shouldn't be too bad, I should say. I mean, still it's bad because Bradley's out and only trained for a few minutes yesterday. Bradley might get more training today, tomorrow, maybe Sunday, but I don't think he'll be ready for the match. Gomez hasn't trained since he played because he just needs time to recover. So, the question I'm going to ask you is, who starts at right back? And maybe you guys let us know who you think as well while Grizz talks. I can share some of these.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's like we've been speaking about sort of the depth at fullback area. We've literally got 1, 2, 3, 6 fullbacks. You could say, like 3 left backs and 3 potential right backs, and I'm including Joe Gomez as the third one as an option, right? And suddenly on the right side, we're talking about possibly shifting players from different positions to cover in there. You just can't cater for these kind of scenarios or situations. And obviously people having a meltdown as soon as Slot mentioned an injury to Frimpong, and he possibly could be, or he is out until after the international break. People up in arms. Oh my God, our squad depth. Oh my God, we're weaker than last season. Relax, man. You're like, how often is it that bloody 3 right backs are all injured or possibly unavailable. I think Bradley will be available. I think you said you don't. I think the fact that it's on Monday gives him a very good chance to participate. I think Gomez as well. So I don't think we will have to move anyone. That's my personal opinion. I don't think we'll have to move anyone. The fact that it's a Monday night game gives us another potential 3 training sessions to go, minimum of 3 training sessions to go. And I think as long as Gomez and Bradley are able to participate in at least 2 of them, and I think one of them will start. They may have to only play 60 minutes or so, or whatever, but I don't think we'll have to move anyone, and hopefully we don't have to move anyone because it's not ideal, Gags. It's so not ideal, especially the way Newcastle play with their speedy wingers. I don't know what you think.
I actually agree with Mark McMahon here. I think I disagree that Bradley will be ready. I think if we put him straight in after just coming back on a Thursday for a Monday night game, which by the way is going to be super highly intense, and we'll talk about the game in a bit later. I think we're going to need energy back there. And, I think Szoboszlai just played in pre-season at right back for us to try it out. And I think that's what he's going to do. I mean, I hope. Sorry, I don't know. I
don't hope. He may do that. I agree. That is okay. Let's make it very clear. If none of the 3 that I've mentioned, or the 2 that I mentioned, Gomez and Bradley, don't play at right back, then I absolutely agree that it's going to be Szoboszlai.
Yes,
let's
put it that way.
But the reason why I don't want it to be Szoboszlai, actually, Curtis Jones is putting a shift there as well, by the way.
Yeah, but I think this guy will have the pace and the energy just to keep going up and down. And then attacking perspective, he's got a good right foot on him, so
but
he'll
then
give that crossing as well.
But I want Szoboszlai in that midfield because of his pace, power, and height. Because when it comes to picking our team, I'll tell you, I'll pick my team and then you pick your team. People stay tuned for that. Be a bit patient. We'll pick our teams what we want for the lineup to be on Monday, because there's a certain method to my madness in terms of picking this team for Monday, but we'll get to that. But yeah, let's see how it goes. We'll hopefully get some news on or pictures of training today. We may not actually. We may not want to disclose too much to Newcastle, but yeah, I agree, Jatin. I definitely don't want Endo out there. Oh, that is the least of all the options available. Definitely not Endo. I think it's Szoboszlai or Curtis Jones as the option outside the fullbacks.
Also, I don't think Stevenson will play right back either, Davey. And I think, Davey has
Was he still? Didn't he go out on loan, guys?
Oh, didn't he go? He must have gone, yeah.
Lucas Stevenson. I actually got a lot of time for Lucas Stevenson. I think he's a talent. I just think he's way down the pecking order, obviously. But I think he's actually very, very good. But I think he might have gone out on loan.
Yeah, I think he might have actually. But talking about going out on loan, breaking news: Lewis Kumas has just decided to join Birmingham City on season long loan.
I like a bit of breaking news.
That come from Romano, so that's really interesting, and also a good shout for him. He's a pretty good player, Kumas, and Birmingham City is probably the right place to go. They're up and coming right now.
Places, right? Going up.
Yeah. And if he could be a part of them, if they go up, they might buy him. To be honest,
they've got money now, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got money, and if they hit the Premier League, they'll have a lot of money to spend. So, Steve Richards agrees that notice Szoboszlai right back is worth his energy comparative in midfield. Put Tsimikas on the right. Good, interesting shout on Tsimikas. I think we're trying to set him, so I don't think we'll risk him. We're not like Palace, who we'll talk about in a minute.
No, I don't want Tsimikas. Wow, no. Yeah, he's full of blunder.
And also, Szoboszlai played in midfield against. Szoboszlai's played in midfield against him in the Carabao, and we were overrun as well with him there. So I think maybe they're a bit more fitter, so that's the difference. We were running out of legs towards the end of the season, so it might be good, but I just can't see Slot moving Wirtz away, and I think he'll go Maka and Grav as his first choice pairing in the middle.
I disagree. You get to that disagreements later on.
Yeah. I don't think he will. I think I think if there's an injury at right back, that's where Szoboszlai's going to play. We're going to come to, again, Ash, we're going to talk about the game later. That's what we'll do. And interested to see what happens with Wirtz Zobo with Gravback. Absolutely, we'll get there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
with the Primpong, look, it doesn't look too seriously. Thankfully, a lot of people panicking, but it's to be expected. New intensity, the way he plays, full of sprints, um, and great stuff from the medical team that Klopp alluded to in terms of the ones that advised him to take him off.
yeah,
Slot advised him to take him off before he done further damage to it, and it's great that Slot listens to these kind of professionals and people.
I agree. I think the good news is that he's back. We only lose him for 2 games. Bradley should be ready for Arsenal at least. So that means that we'll have a full quota of right backs, at least Bradley and Frimpong ready post international break, which is great. So it's not too long to wait. Yeah, it hurts us a little bit, but I'm confident with Bradley's. Once he's fit, I'm confident with having Bradley in the team. Actually makes it a bit more secure because he's played with Konate and Verge regularly last season. So it's not like a new player. All of a sudden, it's someone who's settled in the
And
squad.
not
And
only that, and not only that, height factor will be very important, especially against Newcastle. To a lesser extent against Arsenal. In fact, actually against Arsenal as well, because they're a very big physical team, especially on set pieces. So Gomez might help in that sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, I don't know if Gomez will play, but we'll see. I'm hoping he's okay. But the fact the way he said he didn't play for 3 days, that just sounds. He said it wasn't a setback, but he's just not ready. So if he wasn't ready, if he's not trained for 3 days after playing just 20 minutes, that tells
No,
me
he
he's
didn't.
not.
No. What he said was he hasn't trained for 3 consecutive days. So
Yeah,
he's
and
trained sporadically. Do you get what I mean? He hasn't trained
they
for
had
3 days in a
they had the
row.
weekend off, I think, post game.
He hasn't trained for 3 days
So
consecutive.
Saturday, Sunday was off after the game, right? And then it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He didn't train. Thursday was the thingy. So he just didn't train for 5 days.
Okay, I
Really,
read it. I read it wrong then. I read it
yeah,
like he said he hasn't trained for 3 consecutive days. Wasn't able to train consecutively for 3 days.
not being able to train. Yeah, for 3.
But
No,
either
no,
way,
no, no. He hasn't trained for 3 days. Is how I read it.
okay.
Yeah, but interesting. Let's see what happens. I'm hoping he's going to be like you say. If Bradley and Gomez are fine, or one of
Mm,
them's fine, or at least they can do 45 each, that would be nice. To be honest, we've got
mm,
5 subs nowadays, so
mm.
we should use them smartly. Even change it at
Yeah.
half time if you have to, but just so they stay fit for the next week. But if they're not fit, then I would put Zabazlai there.
So I guess this segues into sort of what kind of lineup then we're suggesting or thinking that we need to pick, because this has become. Do you understand, or have you been amused, or what's your opinion on the way that this is being built up into World War IV, 3, whatever you want to call it? Like they're making it the grudge match of all grudge matches. Where
I,
has
I think it's the
obviously,
fans. It's the fans. It's the vitriol and the fans that's made that happen. Just they are so awful. With sorry, not they're awful. They're feeling so awful about Isaac that the hate towards Liverpool is there, massively. And then obviously Liverpool are going to get the blame for unsettling Isaac. So we're the enemy right now. And when the enemy turns up at your home and it's your first home game of the season, it's already hot because it's the first home game of the season. But this has got added masala, as they say, on top because we're trying to take their best player for a long, long time in a generation that they've had, the best player they've had. And not only that, the saga's dragged on very, very long. It's like, it's just been too much. Um, you know,
it's been too much, but it's protracted because of the nature of the setup at Newcastle. Um, we have the money ready, we have the player ready, we're ready to do a transaction. It's Newcastle that have sort of created obstacles, issues, problems, and I think generally have been quite amateurish in terms of how they've handled it from top to bottom. I think the only one that's coming out of this with a bit of dignity and honesty, and I don't know what you guys think in the chat, but especially after listening to him in the press conference today, the only one that's come out with any pride and dignity and integrity is Eddie Howe. I think he's spoken very well and handled it very well. And I think today, especially today, when he's come out and said, so look, let's recap a little bit. Yesterday, the rumors were that Isak wasn't promised anything. So the battle of the statements was Isak saying he has been promised certain things, etc., etc., and the statement tried to void that statement by saying he was never, these things never happened. Well, Eddie Howe has come out and said today that yes, me and Isak did have a conversation near the end of the season, and that's in private. What do we think that conversation was about, Gags?
That he wants to leave. Obviously, like, it's just stupid to think anything else. And also, all those people saying in the chat here, Redman, where are you? There you are. Isaac isn't joining. Eddie Howe situation will be resolved soon. I disagree with you completely. Was there another one? Oh yeah, someone else said deal off. Let me tell you something. They're buying players. They could not buy players. They could not even afford to buy players after Elanga. And they went and got Ramsey for 40 million because they know there's money coming. There's money incoming. And they've already spent some of it. And he talked about Gordon playing up front today, right? Because Ramsey is coming to play on the left with Barnes, and Barnes is the first choice. Ramsey can play central as well, where he's going to cover the left because that's where he's been playing with Villa as well. So
Ramsey's not coming to be a substitute or 100%.
No,
Ramsey's in the prime of his career. He's not leaving Villa to become a big part player at Newcastle. No chance. No chance. He's not taking a sideways step because Newcastle, Villa, similar size clubs.
Oh, yeah. But in a Champions League, one is in, one is out, and that's easy then to make the change. But my point is, he came out and then said that he's not a substitute striker. He's a starting striker about Gordon, right? He said, I can do great with him starting or from the bench. He's got pace. He's got a great, he's got finishing ability as well. So I honestly think they just need one striker. And I think they'll get close to getting one striker by 1st of September. I know loads of things are breaking down on what's happening, but there's a lot of gamesmanship going on in the media. I wouldn't believe any of it. They just want the game to pass. So all of you thinking it's not going to happen, you're going to be in for a big shock. You're going to be in for a big shock because the money's ready. Everything's ready. They want the money. The player has made an absolutely banger of a statement that has shocked the world, that he is not going to play there again. That is that. I am sorry. See you later. Publicly. When someone does that publicly, they are putting their ego on the line. They are putting their name on the line. If you don't think that's serious, that was some serious stuff on Tuesday night. So there's only one way this is going. And
well, I've got some quotes.
Go for it.
I've got some quotes from the infamous, would we say, Luke Edwards, the Newcastle journalist that's been very active.
We shouldn't even give that guy any.
Well, it's quotes from
Eddie
Howe, so it's not him. Okay. There's no point reading his opinions as such.
No.
So Eddie Howe, so he's quoting, so he's being an aggregator.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Howe on Newcastle's position on Isak's future this summer. The club has had a very strong stance regarding Alex's situation all summer. Obviously, there have been a lot of conversations between the club and his reps that I've not been a part of, but for me, nothing has changed throughout the summer. This is adding strength to my opinion and my theory about Eddie Howe has absolutely made his mind up and has made up his mind ages ago about Isak not being part of his long-term plans and letting him go. This is the owners stalling it, not Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe has to somehow convince the hierarchy around him that it's far more beneficial to let him go than keeping him. I don't know what your thoughts are.
It's all games. It's all games. Everyone's getting drawn into the circus. I've been saying it all summer. This is going to go to the wire. It's going to go past the game. They just did not want Isak to be playing against them. They did not want him to be in the squad against them. They did not want anything for him to be in this Liverpool squad or near it when Liverpool come to Newcastle. They just did not want that to happen. This is going to turn on Monday night, Tuesday morning. This is going to turn. And I'm telling you, he's going to be with us, I reckon, on September 1st. Now, if it doesn't happen, that's going to be some crazy crap because they would have shot themselves in the foot, really, because he's not going to play. and he's probably going to get fined. But it'll be January then that he comes, which I don't really want to happen either. To be honest, I think it's now or never for Isaac. But
We
I
can't.
think
We can't afford. We can't. It makes no sense.
he soured it so bad for the squad. Like, I think the worst thing would be if he stays, it's going to make the squad really bad, and they don't want to buy a striker until they sell. So, do you get what I mean? There's going to be no one else coming in. At the end of the day, they're going to shoot themselves in the foot massively with no strikers, like real strikers. Gordon's a striker, they're saying, but they wouldn't have a striker on them in the squad at all. So, will Newcastle really do that? I don't think so. People talking about PSR, they have constantly stated they can't give him a pay rise. He would have stayed if they gave him a pay rise. They have said they cannot give him a pay rise. They cannot pay him 200k a week. So they can't even afford 60 grand a week to give him. And you're telling me they can spend 200 million. Nothing stacks up. Nothing stacks up. Something's wrong. So you can say all you want, but the guy would have stayed when he said, I was promised a pay rise, it didn't come. Why haven't they given him a pay rise then? Why? Why haven't they given it him? They can't afford it.
I think it's a culmination of, when sort of Amanda Steveley leaves the club, Paul Mitchell arrives at the club. Amanda Steveley is apparently rumored to be the one that was leading the discourse with his reps with regards to contracts, extensions.
She was highly regarded by the players, by the way.
Say again?
She was highly regarded by the players.
So this is it. So then she had obviously a relationship with the players and their reps. And then she leaves the club. I don't remember I don't remember the circumstances that she left the club in, but she left the club. Paul Mitchell is hired, who comes in this short tenure and decides not to go ahead with those proposed plans. And this is the turning point with Isak and his reps, where they turned against the club, so to speak, because they felt that those talks and those discussions weren't honored by the new footballing director. And then it so happens that Paul Mitchell leaves the club and Eddie Howe's brother is pretty much given that role, or some of certain aspects of that role. And it's just a circus since then. It's just a circus, and he wants out.
Yeah.
He doesn't want anything to do with them anymore. But to put it bluntly, he doesn't want anything to do with them.
No, and Alan Shearer, Davey says Alan Shearer said it's all Isaac's fault. Alan Shearer was on the other side with the Trent saga going, he's fine, let him go. He's got bigger things he's got bigger ambitions and all this crap that Alan Shearer was saying. And then he turns it around when it's his own club. Alan Shearer is like, crying like a bloody baby. Get out of here. Someone should get Roy Keane to talk to him. Baby.
Baby.
Big baby. That's it. That's what bloody shit.
The discourse from ex-players and pundits. Have you seen? I mean, I know
Michael Owen is the only one.
I was going to say
he did it to Liverpool.
I was gonna say. I know we don't have the fondest of opinions of Michael Owen these days as Liverpool fans, right? But I actually agreed with him a lot of what he said. And so a few players have come out and said, look, you can't just slander and talk about a person's character and non-stop all summer without letting him have a say. And when then he has a say, be shocked and surprised. Oh my God, why has he come out with a statement? Well, you've just been making statement after statement, writing article after article, making YouTube after YouTube video, right, about this fella. He's allowed to fight back. I mean, and he's allowed to say his version. And then you don't like his version? Get over yourselves. Get over yourselves. But yeah, look, it's a weird situation. It's like Liverpool are the only clubs that have tried to sign a player through unsettling him first. It's like, what the F's the big deal?
Yeah, it's silly. I think it's happened a million times before.
What do you mean? It happens. This is what happens when you propose to buy a player from another club. You have to unsettle him. That's the way it works. That's the way football works. When you buy a player, you have to suggest to him that your club will be better for him than his club. So he has to be unsettled at that club, unless he's fallen out with that club himself, and then you don't have to do nothing. That's how it works, man.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Yeah. Hopefully, like Eddie Howe says, it will come to a head. I know there's a bit of a miscommunication about people saying, "Oh, he said that hopefully it will come to an end," and then some people thinking he said the transfer window is coming to an end. Both statements are correct. Both statements are correct, and both
They
can
are.
be correct. It's going
They
to
are.
come to an end because it has to
But,
come to an end.
but let's be honest. I think this is the bit what Taymur is saying here is correct. Look,
Not
Real
just Real
Madrid.
Madrid and
No,
Trent,
no, no, no,
every
no, no,
piece.
because there's people in the chat saying it's not the same thing, but it is because they did unsettle him and they did promise him the world, and that's why he let it run out, And that's why the fans did go crazy on Trent, but that's why the fans are going crazy on Isaac because he mid contract he's saying I want to leave, I don't want to be here anymore, and he has his reasons.
So we want to be rational and logical on this show from time to time. And where I will say is where I will criticize Isak and his agent, I don't think they've handled it brilliantly either. But that comes down to an experience. That comes down to his agent only having Isak as the big guy, the big shot under his wing. And so they've got issues and they'll learn from how to deal with the situation. For example, this idea or notion of signing a 6-year deal was crazy, right? Like, you should have had a 5-year deal, 4-year deal, and you should have had certain exit clauses, which obviously they haven't, and they haven't inserted it. So it's a learning experience. Newcastle are still learning how to be part of the big dogs league, right? This is big boy stuff now, right? Haven't handled themselves. And neither have Isak or his agent, I don't think. But hey, I don't care. We don't care. As long as Isak is in red, I don't care.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think there's a really good one here. Any validity in Article 7? No, not at all. No validity, Peter. Unfortunately, there's none at all. There's something we've got Tadiwa, Chinakara, Tadiwa. I can't say his surname. I apologize, Tad. We have Tadiwa at Anfield Index, and he works in on that side, the legal side of things in football, actually. So he's let us know that if Isaac was to do that in terms of the Article 17 stuff, FIFA would allow it, no problem at all. But the Premier League could, if Newcastle complained to them about Liverpool and say it's unfair, whatever, they could actually just block the move EPL, and then it would have to go to CAS and all that. And in the end, he wouldn't be allowed to play for us whilst that is going on. That could take 18 months. So Isaac would literally lose 18 months of his career. And to post that, nobody would want to buy him, and nobody would want to pay him 280 grand. So is it an option? Yes, if he wants to take the risk of not playing again for 18 months, will he do it? Absolutely not. So, I just don't think don't listen to anybody else. That was the legal side of it from someone who's working in football legally. Not worth the risk, not going to happen. So if anybody else is saying that's a possibility, you can go and ignore them. You can hear that from me. You can go and ignore them. That's just not going to happen. Okay. So, just it's just clicks and people getting hits and not really doing the research properly or not knowing what's going on properly. But anyway, that's Isaac. We both think this will happen. We want it over now. It's boring. We are obviously, people do listen in and watch the views and stuff, but we got to talk about it. But if I'm honest, just want him in, want it started, and get him in the team. Actually, Liverpool need him big time. We only have Ekatike. We don't have another striker that can play there either. Gakpo maybe could, but we don't want to do that because then he'd play left wing. So that's another problem. We don't have a left winger. But before we go into forwards and left wingers, let's talk about the tug of war that's happening over at Crystal Palace with Mark Gahey. It looks like Grizz, the manager, is saying he cannot let him go, but Parish is saying that if he's not signing a new deal, we have to let him go. We cannot let players like Gahey leave for free. So I'm very confident. Again, this one does happen for Liverpool, and he does join us. The player wants to join. And before they were like, would he not? But I think what Gahey brings is a whole load of versatility to the back line for Liverpool. Not only can he play centre back, I think he can play left back as well. If Kirkus is basically too marauding too much, or if we need to play a solid team against a big team, he could play there as well. And I think Konate is going to need rest, and I think Virgil will need rest, and he's going to be a fantastic player if he signs for us. So, what are your thoughts on the whole thing?
I think, yeah, you've nailed it. I think he's as crucial as any other signing that we've made this summer. And that's a huge statement, some may think, because some will say, no way, we've just bought Wirtz for a record fee, best young potential world elite player in football. How can you compare him or say it's as equal as him? Well, I've just said it. And the reasons why I've said it is because of the age factor of Virgil van Dijk, who has started off sluggishly and slow. Let's call a spade, but it's understandable with his age and the amount of football he's played since his comeback from his injury. National team, non-stop tournaments, league campaigns, Champions League campaigns. Virgil van Dijk is not a young spring chicken anymore. Ibu Konate's form and fitness of the past is a concern. And then we've let Kwanzaa go, who was an able deputy from time to time. We are now relying on Joe Gomez being the spare centre-back, and we all just discussed Joe Gomez in the first segment of the show. Taking all those things and points that I've made into consideration, I consider Mark Gahey as important a signing as Ekitike, as Florian Wirtz, as Kerkez, as Frimpong, if not more. It's vital. It's vital. I know we brought in young Leone, who is my son tells me, and shout out my son, he started his little YouTube channel, guys, go and check him out, IK Knows Ball. He's done a little video on Leone as well. He's been telling me about this guy, and he says, Dad, you have got yourselves a future, hugely talented centre-back. Is he ready right now to throw in the absolute mix of the Premier League? No. Therefore, we need someone who's tried, tested, literally tried and tested in our very own, in front of our very own eyes in the Charity Shield.
Yeah.
And that's Mark Gahey. So I think he's an absolute integral part of this transaction, this summer transfer plans.
Yeah, me too. I think he'd be fantastic if the difference maker, as they say, all of a sudden the flexibility at the back just becomes mental. Like it just becomes comfortable, very comfortable to have him there, and he just adds what Gomez used to add when
I was going to say that. I love the comparison there. And I thought about myself. He brings an element of Joe Gomez when we signed Joe Gomez from Charlton. Obviously, Joe was much younger. But in terms of the potential character, personality, very humble, by all accounts, a top bloke. Passes the no dickhead policy straight away. And a fantastic player, man. I think he's going to be a fantastic acquisition. I agree with you. I think the scenario is that he ends up, I think that may go down to the last couple of days, though.
Because someone just said, I just shared it, that they've got a second leg and they might want him to play in the second leg for
they have to. The manager said he's got no choice but to play in that game. But I think Parish has made it again very clear last night again, where he said if Gahey signs a new contract, by all means stay. If he doesn't, we'll have to look at it.
The money's big, isn't it, for the next round? Like they want to get through the Conference League. It's big for Palace to stay in Europe and get to the group stage. So Gahey looks like it will be a next weekend job at the end of the day. I think Isaac will probably end up being a next weekend job as well. Talking about going to the wire, this is a really interesting one that keeps popping up. Indicator, our friend, raised it today. Rodrigo as the winger. I know. Well, we've talked about it before. You changing your mind on Rodrigo, whatever. But have you heard anything on it, or what are you thinking on Rodrigo? I've heard it from multiple places now that Liverpool are interested, and Liverpool do want to, but his wages are just incredibly high now. It's an interesting one, and we're talking about it in our Discord actually. That I think it's all about whether City want him or get him. I think because City will be willing to pay his €400,000 a week wages. In terms of, that's not what he gets at Madrid, but his take home would be the same as it was at Madrid if he gets €400,000 here. If that makes sense. The tax system in the UK hurts us when people go from Spain to UK. So basically, he's just asking for the same money, but it turns out to be €400,000. So for Rodrigo, I think they have to sell Savinho, so it's totally about whether they sell him and if Spurs pay the big bucks. And now they've lost out on Eze. You'd probably think Spurs would pay the money for Savinho, and therefore it would make sense that Rodrigo goes there. But Liverpool are not moving away from it apparently, and they want to stick it out and see what happens. And they're trying to convince. I think Michael Edwards have done a big job on this one, so they're trying to really convince the player to join Liverpool. Now, what happens? Is anyone this one I'm not confident about. So if like Isaac's different, Gay's different, but this one I wouldn't be able to say I think this one's happening. It's going to go to the wire as well.
Yeah, I confess to not having heard anything myself about this, but obviously, how dare we doubt our friend Indy, who has suggested to me in private as well that Rodrigo's agents were at Anfield. And if that's the case, and as I said, I have absolutely no reason to doubt Indy, who is...
Oh, Indy put that out on Twitter yesterday or the day before. We put it in our Discord on Thursday night. So yeah, we knew that a long time ago. So Indy only found out later. But yeah, so he definitely, we heard Penny was definitely coming on Friday, and that was
so there you go. So there you go. The Anfield Index Discord and Indy Kalia have suggested that. As I said, I have absolutely not heard anything on this, so I'm not going to profess and try to pretend I have. I haven't heard anything on Rodrigo. In terms of my opinion, then, based on reports and what I'm hearing from other people, it looks like we're keeping our options open, so to speak, I guess, in that sense. I personally don't see us buying Rodrigo, especially if we sign Isak. But I do see, if we were to pursue any type of deal, I can, on the horizon, just my opinion, absolutely zero information, see a loan type scenario.
With the obligation to buy, because Madrid will not loan him without an obligation. So the Red Man saying here that they won't sell, they'll want an obligated fee next year. Who would let him go on loan with no obligation, just like, yeah, he's failed, off you go, mate? And
if anyone can negotiate something like that, it's our boys, right?
True. But you want to get, just in case they'd want to get the money just in case he flops in the Premier League. They want that obligated fee because it's a big jump.
But I think if Savinho moves, and I think he's not in Pep's first team plans, from speaking to my friend, if you guys follow Big Six, you know Big Steve. Steve gets quite a bit of information about Man City. He says if Savinho goes, Rodrigo's already there.
City.
City.
Yeah, that's what I just said. If Savinho goes, they can pay the money, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It will just be a literal straight swap type thing. And that's if Spurs, and I agree with you what you said about Spurs now having the motivation, or probably the vitriol from the fan base, to actually push for Savinho, because we know Levy hasn't been the best of recruiters this summer. That was a blooper, an absolute howler with Eze. I'm fuming. I done a video, guys. I don't know if you checked it out. Go and check out my channel and subscribe if you haven't as well, by the way. I'm hitting the road to 35k. I done a video on how angry I was, like how Spurs have Spursied Eze, because I don't know what you think. It's the perfect signing for Arsenal. Eze is
it's good. No, it's a good sign. They're strong, very strong, but I'm not convinced with they lost a striker and brought in another winger, and basically, yeah, I'm not sure. I can't say his name. Gyok, whatever it is, Gakora is going to be any good. I'm just not convinced. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. They may be worse off because they still can't put the ball in the net, or they haven't got a pacey striker, because he looks like a big lug at times.
Is that what you wanted to bring up? 1 second, let's bring that up.
Yeah.
Thou says Newcastle have been in contact in the last 24 hours for Nicholas Jackson. The interest is concrete in the Chelsea striker. I think this might be another awkward deal for them, and the reason for that is Emery's relationship and previous experience of working with Jackson at Villarreal may play a part.
The problem is Villa need to still sell more players to get him in. They're struggling big time. They're
I
struggling.
don't think it's possible now, but let me tell you a bit of a snippet that I heard.
Are you going to talk about Morgan?
Yeah.
Go on.
But that was about a month ago, and I don't think it's been pursued since or whatever. But we 100% spoke to the representatives of Morgan, and that's literally from the horse's mouth. So
I would take him over Rodrigo if I'm honest.
Agreed. Oh, we agree on that. Oh, wow.
I would take him over Rodrigo because homegrown, young lad. He'd just tick all the boxes. He can play across the front, he can play behind like 10, left wing, right wing. He could do anything. He could play attacking mid. He just would tick so many boxes as well. When they talk about, it was Mark McAdams saying it yesterday, wasn't it? Did you see that on Sky about Liverpool are definitely in for a versatile forward? So there's a name that they're trying to get, which, we wouldn't.
I mean, come on. I mean, Leopard Tree. Like,
why are you so rude? Why are you so rude for?
No. He's not calling me a fraud. He's calling.
No, but he's saying, "Wake up, Grizz." Why you have to tell someone to wake up? You can
but this. Look at the irony. Look at the irony in this tweet. He's actually thinking, right, and believing that Rodrigo is bouncing up to these clubs. So Rodrigo, who's not getting any game time at Real Madrid, who are actually just turfing him out, basically, right, because of the high wages and everything else, thinks, right, Lepetri thinks that we're naive to think that he's rocking up to every club saying, "I want 500 grand a week."
Why do you think he hasn't joined a club?
I mean, the irony. He's telling me to wake up. Leopard Tree, wake up before you fall out of that tree, right, and hurt yourself. All right, wake up, because you're gonna sleepwalk your way out of that tree and fall down. It's gonna hurt you in your head.
So,
but yeah,
going back to Morgan, would they sell to another PL team? They would sell to anyone if they need the money.
Who else can afford that kind of fee?
No other teams can pay.
They want circa 70 million for him. That's what I was told.
Just 70 million. Just 70 million.
Circa 70 million, so 70, 80 million. Come on, man. That's a big fee for someone who's done one season in the Premier League. Come on, yo.
Couple of seasons now, man.
No, man. This is the breakout season, guys. Breakout season.
He's brilliant. Pay the money.
You're not paying 70, 80 million plus. Eze's more established than him, and he's gone for 68.
Yeah, but Eze's blimmin'. You have to pay for age as well. Eze's 27. That's rip off.
26,
27, man.
Perfect prime age.
Yeah, but it's got 3 years left, and he could just fall off a tree, like leopard.
Like leopard in a tree.
Yeah, but that guy's a kid. 70 million's right.
I think 70 million is right, but you're suggesting only 70 million.
Yeah, but it's cheap in this day and age, man. We're paying women words 215 for 22-year-old.
70, 80 million is about right.
Yeah, it's good. I'd take him right now. Honestly, if Villa could just say,
I'd take him.
Hey, we need Jackson, but we need to sell Morgan. Liverpool, can you pay it? Yeah, okay, here you go. Take it now.
But this is my point. I don't think we're going to sanction such a deal after Isak. I think, and I still think, we're gonna, if we do, and I don't know at the moment if we are, we're not. I guess that could be the talking point on the back of Rodrigo. So I personally don't think Rodrigo is going to happen. That's just my opinion, not based on any fact or information or anything like that. Just opinion. I think if it does happen, I think it's likely to be a loan. I think we're more pivoting towards, as we've mentioned before, Malik Fofana.
So let's talk about the versatile forward thing. Then you're saying it's not Rodrigo. So Fofana has not gone anywhere. I think we've discussed Fofana whilst we sold. I mean, it's obvious when we sold what's his name, Morton, over to Lyon. We have done something to get this kid waiting, whether it's this year or next year. Something is there, because no way would they pay 10 to 15 million for Morton. They ain't got no money. How have they done that? Something's dodgy. But also this Morgan stuff, it's the Mark McAdams that you told me. Mark McAdams, or is it that his name, Mark McAdams, has worked for Edwards and Hughes before. They're mates. So this guy was on Sky yesterday saying Liverpool are definitely in for a versatile forward on top of Isak.
Okay, I missed that.
So that's again, it's all in Discord. The videos there.
Oh,
So
sorry about that.
no, no,
Yeah,
no, no, no,
my
it's
phone
fine.
turned off. Yeah,
So basically, I'm just
interesting.
saying that something might be happening. This next 9 days that we've got left to the window, Liverpool fans, you're going to be stuck on your phones, on your TVs, because it's going to be a hell of a busy 9 days. An average of three assigning every 3 days. You might have to wait till the last day for all three, but
So
something's
you
happening.
think? You think we're going to bring in three still? I know you've been adamant about the numbers and
I'm
everything.
hoping because Liverpool want them. Whether they get them over the line, I can't decide that, right? You know, at the end of the day, Liverpool want Isaac, Liverpool want Gay, Liverpool want a versatile forward. Can they get all three over the line? It
In
will.
a normal window,
Mm,
being Liverpool fans, we would absolutely ridicule and laugh at the situation. Say, "I'll shut up." 3 signings in a bloody 9 days or 10 days or whatever, right? But the way we've worked in this window, oh, I don't know how to use Discord. Please, I need technical help. If that's Jack or Eddie or
yeah.
whoever that is, I need technical help how to use Discord, please. The Big Six tried to get me onto the Big Six Discord for months. Ask them, I'm a useless fella in that sense. In a normal scenario, I would say 3 signings in 10 days. Please relax. We'll be lucky to get 2. But the way we've operated in this window so far, I wouldn't put it past anyone at Liverpool Football Club to pull this off. I think 2 is 90%.
Yeah.
I don't know about 3. I don't know about 3.
Yeah. The third one is the tough one. I think, like Luke says here, the big thing, right, Luke, is if we just got 25 million for Doak, right? Elliot will bring in 40. If we sell Elliot, that is pretty much, guess what? We're level. We're
No
flipping
way.
level. And we got Simicast to go yet. We are going to be in a positive or level net spend. That's without the next 3. So when you tell me, can we afford the next 3? 100%. We have
No,
got
no, 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 no. I didn't
250
say that.
million.
No, 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 no.
No,
I
you
didn't say
didn't. You didn't. Others. Because people will be like, how can we afford it? We're literally about to be 0 net spend. So we got all the cash to spend. Why would they sit on it? They would get ridiculed by this fan base for sitting on it. And like you said, 2 players are going to cost 160-ish. They're going to end up spending 250 million this summer. They will, positive net. They will end up, and I really think they will not leave this Liverpool squad tight, big up front or on the left wing, because there's no left winger after Gakpo.
Big up Hassan, avid supporter of mine as well, always watches my show. Big up yourself. Thank you very much, my friend. He says Craig Hope, who's been probably the most reliable of the Newcastle journalists, says Newcastle knew coming of the out of the season that Alexander wanted to go. It's why they pursued João Pedro, Delap, Ekitike, Sesko, players who may have facilitated Isak's sale. They didn't pursue these players to play alongside him. We've established that. Right? We've established that. They were never going to play 2 up front. They were always going to pursue someone like a Vissa to replace Callum Wilson. But all the other said mentioned strikers, were to replace Isak.
Yeah.
So it's all games. They've just made a balls up of their recruitment, which is hindering the speed of our movement and the whole movement of the transfer. It's just they're being a hindrance. I don't think they're doing it on purpose. The suggestions that they're doing on purpose, and I just genuinely think they're not incompetent. Basically, they're incompetent, and but they will learn. They will learn the hard way, I guess. I think there'll be internal discussions and inquiries into why this happened at Newcastle, how it happened. The owners will want to know, yeah, that's good
And
luck.
Liverpool couldn't leave themselves hanging because they had to go and buy Ekitike. You know, at the end of the day, they were like, well, sorry, we need to go get somebody.
Yeah, we couldn't not only wait for Isak, we had to get someone else. Correct.
And by the way, I'm so bloody happy we've got him. He looks incredible. And just watching the behind the scenes stuff, he looks like a character as well. Someone
Who's
who's
that?
seen Ekitike, Hugo, just
Brilliant.
seems very happy, seems just like dancing away to songs when the music's on in the background in training, and just has this
Put it in, basically.
cool guy. Yeah, he's a gent. He seems like a real good, easy guy to get along with. Seems to have hit it up with Frimpong immediately, and they seem to be having a lot of fun together. So yeah, I think I'm really really glad that we got him at least, and he's going to be a big hit for us already. So the big thing that could happen is him scoring at St James's. Will I think people
Oh
start?
gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I
It's
mean,
going to be.
that would be absolute poetry in motion.
Oh God, I think we should put. Well, yeah, you wouldn't put money on it, but I think we should put some money on it.
Well, if I was a betting man, I would.
Exactly. You're not. I know you're not. So
I would say no. I would say red card, guys. The way
good.
this game is being built up. I mean, let's get into our lineups. Let's finish up with. Look, the transfer situation is literally coming to a head. We've given our opinions. We've given our thoughts. We've discussed the scenarios that have been played out in the public and in the media, right? But there's a game to be played, and it's a massive, massive game. Newcastle away at the best of times is a awkward fixture. Always has been for us.
It's a tough fixture, man. It's always tough. No doubt about it. This is not going to be easy. I know a few people are really confident in it. No chance. That
Where are you
crowd,
getting this confidence from? Like,
mate, the crowd is going to be insane. It's going to be so hostile. Like this is going to be a real big challenge for this new Liverpool team. Don't take it any other way. Now, if they pass that challenge, that would be something amazing. Like it would honestly, we would be very, very proud and very, very like. It'd just be amazing for the whole squad to do it. But I could, if they drew, it wouldn't be the end of the world right now.
100%.
Because it's a tough game. They're gonna the players. I don't think that the players will be too emotional because Isaac's still their mate. They're probably still talking to me on the scenes. And he thanked them all for all the support because that's why you get in the team of the year. This is nothing to. He's got nothing against the players. I think the players will react to the fans. The fans will be up for it. That the players will get that adrenaline rush from the fans. I don't think it's going to be anything personal. That's what's going to happen, and I think this is a great shot. The only problem for the Geordies is that they've got no attack. They've got no striker. It's going to be Gordon playing against Van Dijk and Ibu.
I'm not falling for that.
Why against Villa? They had the whole game and they didn't score.
I'll tell you why. Because Newcastle have proved from our last encounter, which was the League Cup final, they are very confident, and their game plan was centered around set pieces and how to hurt us on set pieces. So regardless of their attack, they still have huge players that we will have to deal with.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Burn on Maka.
So there you go. On top of that, they may not have a central striker, but they have very pacey wingers. And where do we have newcomers, injuries, situations? At fullback. So therefore, I am worried because Elanga is electric and has given us hard time for Man United. I don't know if you guys remember, Elanga gave us a torrid time at Old Trafford a couple of seasons ago, second game of the season. And Harvey Barnes has given us a horrid time in the past. And we know Anthony Gordon. That will be their front three. And then they will have the formidable bruisers in midfield and then the lumps at the back. So just because they have Isak missing, which is huge, I'm not downplaying Isak not playing. What I'm saying is there's enough weapons in their armory to hurt us, but we have to deal with it. And I'd like to think Arne Slot will have learned so much from the League Cup final, so much, hopefully, and we pick a team that is as physical and as big as it is. So let's get into our lineups, our predicted lineups for Monday morning. Let's do position for position. Let's do section by section. So we both agree, Alison. I think we disagree on the fullback. So you go with your right back.
I think I'm guessing that they won't be ready, so I'm going to go with Szoboszlai. Right back.
I'm going to go with Bradley. I think the centre backs pick themselves. God forbid if there's no injuries or situations developing.
Yeah.
Any changes at left back?
No. I think Kirkers will be trusted again.
Experience of Robbo?
Nope. Too slow.
Okay. I'm with that as well. But I'm just playing devil's advocate, Robbo. Right, this is where it gets interesting then, because you've got Szoboszlai at right back. So who's your three in midfield?
Grav, Mac, Wirtz.
Okay, here's my controversial shout.
Mhm.
I think it's Grav, Szoboszlai,
Wirtz.
McAllister.
Oh wow, no Wirtz.
Hmm.
They didn't do well last time, mate. They were
We're
awful against them.
We're gonna pick our strongest, tallest, most physical team.
Yeah, Szoboszlai is going to be there in the back line though, so they'll be tall. Still some height there. In my team, at least.
This
So
one
we're
I'm
gonna
saying. And then we got Gakpo, Ekitike,
and Mo.
and Salah. Yeah.
And so you're
There's
saying
only 6 footers.
so you're going to drop. So you think Slot will drop Wirtz first game?
I hate that word. Why are you putting words in my mouth? Shame on you to put words in my mouth.
We're on YouTube. This is what we're going to do. You're telling me he's going to drop.
Actually, you're actually one of these aggregators that have just paraphrased and catchphrase and like talking.
Grizz says Slot will drop Wirtz on Monday.
Drop Wirtz stunner.
Yeah, I think Leopard Tree. I know he's a Newcastle fan, and he looks like so. The same midfield that was dominated by Newcastle. So
it's the same midfield that's beating you as well, my friend. I don't know if you've forgotten that we actually beat you last season twice.
No, we drew once and beat them once. 3-3, 2-0.
Did we draw at home?
No, we won at home. We drew away 3-3. Last minute, Kelleher.
I beg your pardon. That was the previous season when Nunes. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing that you could do. It's just my opinion. He may not. He probably won't. Let's see. I just think he's going to pick the tallest, most physical team he can possibly pick, and that might even include Curtis Jones over McAllister. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying.
He's calling us a dumbass. You know what? I think he fell out of the tree. He sounded like a Newcastle fan.
Yeah, he fell out of the tree. But I look, Newcastle. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't think Gakpo gets dropped. I think the front three stays the same. I think it's all about picking the tallest, most robust midfield you can possibly pick and make sure they're on their A game. Win their effing duels. We lost every single duel against them.
Okay, let's just say someone does, or Curtis plays at right back, right? Like JD just put it in there, and as I was about to say it, just say Curtis plays at right back. So you get your midfield that you want to do. Would you swap Wirtz for Gakpo? Because Gakpo away from home has not been good. He's brilliant at home. He literally scores every game mostly at home. He's in one of those modes at the moment where he scores at Anfield all the time. But away from home, he goes missing. Not for a fight. Wirtz runs a lot. Like, you know, when he came off on the other night, he was the highest. He'd run the most in the pitch.
I hear that. I
you playing left?
I hear that.
Playing left?
No, I in this game. I mean, look, he may prove me totally wrong, and he may be brave and wow, balls out, and this is a brave call and brave decision. But I just think he's going to do horses for courses, and it's not dropping Wirtz. It's just,
rotating, same thing.
But then there's a notion. But then there'll be the notion of put him in the kitchen, see if you can handle the heat. So there is that as well.
Yeah, because I mean, Germany must have great atmosphere. I mean, the German Bundesliga has great atmospheres as well, and hostile atmospheres as well. So he would have played in this before. It's not going to be like it's something new. Come on, I think they would have played in hot atmospheres, but they played at Anfield all the bloody time, so they should be used to it. But obviously, it's on your side. That's the only difference. And they've played at Newcastle. The last games were hostile. Last couple of seasons. So I'm interested to see.
Let's see how it goes. I mean, look, that's our opinions, people. There's.
I'm missing the game.
Oh, changa bande.
I'm missing the game, man, because I booked.
I'll watch it for you.
Yeah, I booked WWE Raw live on Netflix.
Okay.
I'm there in Birmingham, and like this was done 6 months ago, but they put the bloody fixture on Monday night when they moved it. I was like, you paid tickets for that, mate. Gotta go.
Fair enough. So that shows your dedication to the cause. But anyway, we won't get into that. But yeah, another great show in the can. Time has flown. I must run off now because I have Friday prayers coming up, and I
Oh,
have to
absolutely. We must
have
then
a shit.
go.
I need to get a shit shower shave, as I said, before we run off to Friday prayers. And Monday, all it leaves us to do a quick prediction of scores. We should actually done a little a league, man. Me and you see who gets the most predicted scores.
What do we
right.
do? What do we do for Bournemouth?
I can't
We
remember.
both predicted a win anyway, didn't we? So
I don't think we did a prediction score.
let
But
me
I've
just.
gone for a 1-1.
You've gone for a 1-1 versus Newcastle, yeah?
Mhm.
Okay. Let me just write this in our WhatsApp.
No, you don't need to. Why do you need to do it now?
Why? I'm doing it now. We're starting.
Oh,
So
okay, fine. Okay, fine.
we're starting, so you can keep an eye. I'm gonna
Okay,
go.
fine.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Liverpool.
Okay. 2-1
Yeah.
Liverpool, people. I hope
Yeah.
Gags is right. I hope, I always hope Gags is right.
Well, let's get other predictions quickly before we go. Liverpool now says 3-1 Liverpool. Anybody else before we go? Anyone else? But 2-0.
Easy day at the office. My God, love it.
I don't know how
Come
these
on,
guys
coward.
go.
Leopardry is really on our
Oh
case.
my God, he's really going for you this time.
Water for
My
ducks
God.
back.
My
Water for
God.
ducks back, man. People coming for
3-0,
me.
2 early goals, crowd's quiet and calm. 1-0, 2-0. This is all Liverpool fans. Yeah, 2-1. Oh, there you go, Wolsey. We got a Newcastle fan in the house. Wolsey. 2-1 Liverpool.
Good
3-0.
luck.
Okay, there you go. Everybody's confident, and Wolsey's confident as well. So fair enough.
Apart from me, I've said 1-1, but I'll
Yeah.
take one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Grizz, for joining me early because I had a day off and we couldn't do last night. But hope everything's well with you and hope everything's well with everybody else as well.
Absolutely.
And we will be back next week, maybe Friday, maybe
Normal
Thursday.
time.
We'll see.
Probably
Yeah,
normal
time.
Well,
Evening.
let
Friday.
us know. Let us know in the comments, and let us know in the comments afterwards if you prefer this time or you prefer evenings. Let us know, and we'll try to cater.
Yeah. Well, there's 3,500 people watching this in the morning, so it was great. Still great turnout. Thank you so much, everybody. We really appreciate it. Go and watch everything else that Grizz does. Go and watch everything else that we do. We appreciate you, and hopefully Monday and the weekend and the week onwards brings signings and wins and goals, and everybody stays injury free. Until then, have a great one.
Jalfer.
The Reds.
Jalfer.